Panalig. Ito ang balita ng kabutihan. Balita ng katotohanan. Radyo Veritas 846 sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Halina't makinig at makilahok sa mga isyu at usapan tungkol sa ating pananampalataya at lipunan. Radyo Totoo, Radyo ng Simbahan, Radyo Veritas sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Ready na ba kayo?
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle. The voice of the Blue Eagle. Radyo Katipunan 87.9.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil.
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Okay, recording. Okay, in 3, 2, and 1. What's poppin'? And welcome to Popcorn with Cholo Sediaren, your stop for all things pop, where we talk about all things pop culture from here in our homes in the Philippines to the rest of the globe. Syempre, andito pa rin tayo sa bahay hanggang ngayon. Kailan na tayo makakalabas dito, di ba? But in this episode, we dive into the digital world as we discuss the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma, and how we feel about it. But also, it's a super extra special episode as we have our first ever podcast collaboration here on the show. Meron tayong mga bisita sa kabilang dako ng Katipunan. Let us introduce our guests. So, let's welcome our fellow adults from the It's an Adult Thing podcast. Nika, Carla, and Azel are here with us today. Hi, guys.
Woot woot!
Hi!
Woot woot!
Hello! What's poppin'? Wow,
Yeah.
gaya.
What's up, poppers? Wow!
Si Mia.
Popper! Poppin'!
Kamusta kayo? I guess, siguro before anything else, introduce yourselves and introduce your show so that our listeners and viewers are familiar with you guys.
Alright. You go first, Carla.
Nika.
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 So this is what happens in our podcast. They always make me answer first. Hi.
Nire-resist pa rin niya eh.
Hi, I'm Nika. I'm one third of it's an adult thing. Ano ba? Introduce myself. I'm a young tita. Who's
Totoo
trying to
naman
be
yan.
I'm trying to be a good adult. I'm learning. I'm also a writer and digital content producer. So, yun ang aking pangkabuhayan showcase. Yeah. How about you, Azel?
Sino? Ako na sabi ko na nga. Kapag
Na-feel mo.
hindi ka nagpapasa lagi sa akin. Well, I'm an adult. I'm Azel. Wow, an adult. Tapos ano ba ginagawa ko sa life, Niga? I'm a freelance cinematographer and graphic designer. Yun. Yung ganap ko sa buhay. Ayan na. Bola. Carla.
Hi, Popper.
Oy, totoo ba yung popper? I know, right?
Parang ano.
Sobrang hindi on brand nila,
Ano tayo
Cholo.
dyan? Baka ma-MTRCB tayo dyan.
Sorry, we're from the Jolog side of Katipunan kasi. So, yeah.
Sabi ko nga
Old
kay
palara.
Nika, sasakyan ko kayo. Ang gusto niyo.
Yan.
Yes.
Sige sabi ko yan
Yes,
So, ayun
go,
po,
go.
Ako si Carla. Ang cute ng kainta.
Oh my God, Carla!
We're so proud of you.
Oo.
We're so proud of you.
Carla, di ba you grew up in Katipunan din?
Actually.
Totoo. Like 1/3 of my pre-adult life, I was in Katipunan. Like literal kasi ang traffic sa Katipunan, guys So papunta ko pa lang sa school tsaka pa uwi talagang 1/3 din ng buhay ko.
Totoo yan.
Totoo. Ayun, traffic.
Ngayon na
Kasi
lang,
from
ngayon na lang libre yung Katipunan, no? Na walang kotse, gano'n.
Oh. Hindi na naman natin ma-experience.
Actually.
Yeah, from 13 years old ako hanggang 21, 22. Katipunan girl. Yan. So I'm a director, writer, podcaster, and film teacher. And ano pa bang ginagawa ko sa buhay? Ayan, bahay-bahay.
Lover.
I'm 1/3 of the it's an
Lover.
adult thing trio. Lover.
So ayun, thank
Yeah,
you so
kasi
much to you guys for being here, syempre.
Yes.
Actually,
Thanks for having us.
Of course, I'm super excited to be collaborating with new people, newfound friends. Actually, nag-connect sa atin is the Please Pause podcast. So, shout out din to Mike and Ham dahil naglabanan kami doon, Battle of Katipunan. Listen to
At ang
Please
nanalo
Oo.
ay
Hintayin niyo yung episode na yon.
Yes.
Makikita niyo kung paano
which
namin
side of
nilampaso.
Katipunan?
Baka may, ito na yung sequel, pero hindi tayo maglalabanan. Tutulungan. Wow.
I love it.
I mean, kasi
Sweet.
naisip ko parang I really wanted to do an episode on this documentary. It really moved me and I was like, sino yung perfect na makakausap ko about this? And nag-meet nga tayo lahat. It's an adult thing and popcorn. I was like, perfect, adulting and getting self-help. Kasi diba your podcast is about self-development, mental health, and just trying to navigate the adult world together. So ayun, perfect
Yes.
na tambalan to ngayon. Hapon, umaga, gabi, kung nasan man kayo sa mundo. Kapamilya forever. Ganon. Pero
Sige,
kumusta kayo
tirahin
guys
na
in
yan.
general before we head to the meat of our episode?
Kamusta daw kayo, Carla?
Ayos naman. Adjusting. Because it's been like 6 or 6.5 months. Going
Seven
on
na
7
yata.
months.
Yes.
Since the pandemic officially hit the Philippines. Kaya, siguro napagod na lang ako mapagod. So, I'm getting used to it.
True.
Ayan.
Same with Carla. Parang the pandemic was a constant adjustment. Parang there are times na sobrang sipag mo because you're at home. Pero meron times na may slump ka na I'm just at home but I'm not productive. So parang siyang laging it's always a cycle na 7 months na adjusting to it, getting used to it, and then adjusting to it again. Pero lumalaban lang.
Laban.
Lavern.
UP pa.
Hazel.
Ano ba?
Yes.
Itong quarantine, it's like you're waiting for something, pero hindi mo alam kailan dadating. Parang, ay.
Di ba nga ang dami
Parang
nagsasabi,
you're waiting for-
naghihintay
Diba
na
yan?
2021, tapos hindi naman matatapos in
Tas big-
2021, di ba?
Yeah, totoo. Tapos parang may news pa na parang yung vaccine daw talaga 2024 or 2025 pa yata talaga. Tapos parang what? So ano bang iniintay ko? Parang naka-limbo. Parang ganun yung pakiramdam. So yun. Pero parang slowly accepting na ito na, new normal na nga siya.
Parang
I just-
siyang
I just-
malaking parang malaking filler episode ng isang TV show na hindi natatapos. Parang renew lang ng renew yung show. Andito pa rin tayo sa filler.
Para siyang
Yeah.
para siyang yung si Son Goku, tumatakbo sa may dragon, yung Dragon Road. Parang isang buong season kang tumatakbo, sir. Parang ganun yung feeling ko
Yung
ngayon.
CBB ba yun?
Ay, ma'am, sobrang haba nung nung endeavor niya sa pagtakbo sa may Dragon Road. Hanggang CBB umabot. CBB meaning closing billboard. Yun.
Yeah. So ayun, parang
Ikaw, sir. Wait lang, hindi pwedeng kami lang. Hindi.
yun nga, parang this is the second episode back after a month-long period para mag-chill lang. Kasi parang sometimes you just have to take a break after, alam mo yun, kahit gusto mo naman ginagawa mo, minsan you just have to step back and you have to parang rest. Kasi kailangan mo rin yun eh. Kailangan mo acknowledge kung kailan mo kailangan magpahinga, kailan mo kailangan kumayod or makipagtsikahan. Sometimes, di ba, magdi-distance ka rin sa other people, not just social distancing, but also social media distancing, ganon. Para lang,
Yeah.
What a perfect segue you have there.
Yes. At yun, napapanahon nga naman talaga ang ating pinag-uusapan dahil ang topic natin for today is The Social Dilemma, which is a Netflix documentary. So siguro we won't really be talking about the documentary and what they talk about as much dahil mapapanood naman sa Netflix yun. And shout out to Netflix. Ilang beses
Yes.
naman kayo na shout out. Joke, hello pa rin sa inyo.
Netflix, baka
Baka
naman
naman.
Baka naman. Siguro summary lang, syempre, that whole documentary was about Silicon Valley people, innovators of the social media world, talking about the social media landscape, kung paano nila ginawa yun, ano yung intention sila, and how it evolved into something unprecedented or something na hindi nila in-expect, diba? So parang yung mga interviewees nila, makers of the like button on Facebook, ex-president of Pinterest, executives from Google and Twitter, creator of the YouTube algorithm. So legit talaga, sila talaga yung mga nagtayo ng foundations.
Pasimuno. Sila yung pasimuno talaga.
Pero yun, diba, yun nga yung parang gist of the story or the documentary is that hindi nila alam na ganito siya mag-blow up, ganito siya kalaki, na hindi, iba yung intention nila and iba yung nangyari ngayon. And now everyone's
It had a life of its own.
Yeah, like what are we gonna do about it now that this is where we are at versus where they started, ganon. Yung isang quote na naalala ko is, how do you wake up from the Matrix if you don't know you're in the Matrix? So parang yun yung world. Kayo ano ba yung mga summary na points na nagustuhan nyo about that documentary?
Bukod sa nandun si Hermione Granger.
Kumukha nga niya.
Di ba? Parang kita ni
Ano yung
Hermione.
sister?
Well, ako kasi, even before this, it reinforced yung mga worries and yung uncomfy feels ko sa social media. Kasi even before, na-follow ko na si Tristan Harris kasi nga,
Tristan
he really
daw.
made an Tristan Harris. Charot. Oh, sige, pinapalo ko si Tristan Harris. Kasi nga, he really made an impact kasi siya yung parang Snowden ng social media world.
Yeah.
He came clean and exposed kung ano yung mga kaganapan sa social media, how the social media are deliberately designed to get our attention and to really glue us on our gadgets. And also, na fanay din kasi ako ni Cal Newport, author of Digital Minimalism. So, mas sobrang thankful ako na, syempre, sino naman, not everyone are into reading books or audiobooks. So, sobrang thankful ako na nailagay siya sa medium na mas widespread para mas maraming tao yung makarealize na, oh my God, grabe pala talaga yung effect ng social media. At saka, parang, for me, it clearly it clearly explains kung bakit hindi totoo or hindi strong yung argument na nasa tao naman yan kasi nasa individual naman yan. It's not like that. Kasi nga, designed ang social media and mga pinsan niyang apps para yung individual, yung weaknesses natin as a species ay ma-hack niya at ma-manipulate niya. And this is, parang sila, deliberate yung pag-design nilang yon. Tapos tayo, walang kamuwang-muwang that such hacking is happening. So, sobrang thankful ako na in-expose nila. I'm sure it's not easy for them, for these people to come clean and admit na, well, guys, we were just trying to build something great. It became a Frankenstein that's now a threat to humanity. So, sorry about that. Then, na-amaze ako sa courage nila to actually say that to the world.
Right.
Kayo po ba?
Okay, I'll go.
Sige.
Okay. I think, well, aside from what Carla said, I think what struck me most about the documentary is it made us look at ourselves. Kasi parang doon makikita mo na yung mga tao, laging nasa cellphone. We're always looking at our screens. We never let go of, I am super guilty of it na I never let go of my phone. And kahit nga matutulog, katabi ko siya. Nasa taas ng pillow, nasa bedside, ganyan. So parang, my God, we are glued to it na hindi natin napapansin kasi, well, everyone around us is doing it also. So when I saw the video that the family, they're always on their phone, parang, that's what we look like. That's how we look like in real life. Na kahit magkakasama tayo, social gatherings before the pandemic, may mga napuntahan na ako na gathering of friends na nasa cellphone lang lahat ng tao. So parang, oh my God, we have become zombies. Look at us. Parang ganun yung naging effect sa akin nung buong documentary. Yeah.
Actually, tama yan. Kasi may napunta na akong event mga 2 years ago. Ano siya, parang, it was the influencers ball or something like that.
Ooh, fancy.
We had parang musicians coming in with us, parang to entertain the guests. Pero parang during the performances, lahat nakaganon lang, walang nanonood. So parang,
oh no.
what was the point of having live entertainment if you're just on your phone? Well, understandably so, it's their job and it's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Pero parang the disconnect na, okay, why be in an event? Is it just for like picture, magmaganda ka lang doon, tapos post ka lang. Okay, di ba?
Yeah.
Nasa ibang zone na sila, ganun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ang hirap
Not
pala
present at all.
Ang hirap i-balance kung yun yung work mo, no?
Actually,
Yeah.
laki ng kinikita nila dun eh, no?
Yeah. Ikaw, Azel.
Take away ko doon, paano ba? Di kasi ako masyadong social media. Tapos pag chinek mo rin yung account ko, wala siyang laman. So,
Saan
tapos,
nakaligtas?
pero,
Ma-Pinterest ka lang, ma'am.
oh my God, nahuli ako. One time,
Kala mo,
yeah, Pinterest, ma'am. Yun talaga. Tapos nagulat nga ako na yung, was that the founder or the CEO? Yung nandun.
President of Pinterest.
Current president ng Pinterest, yung nandun sa doc. Kasi yeah, Pinterest talaga. Pinterest and YouTube, that's it. The rest, I don't care much. Pero, ang pinaka-takeaway ko is, sobrang lala nung na-create nila, na pati yung anak nila, ayaw nilang gumamit ng social media. As in, talagang nililimit nila yung screen time. Tapos parang sa akin, parang ganun silang natakot dun sa nabuo nila. Na ayaw na lang ilapit dun sa mga anak nila. If I remember right, parang yung isa doon is gusto niya 16 years old pa magkaroon ng exposure to social media yung anak niya. Parang, so, tas parang yung kids ngayon, even yung pinsan ko, naalala ko nung medyo mga 3 years old pa lang siya. Meron na siyang pinapaglaro na siya ng tablet, tapos yung ganong thing. So yun. So dapat siyang iwasan kasi gusto nga nilang, even the founders themselves, ay hirap na layuan yung the monster they created. The thing they created which turned into a monster. So yun.
Yeah, magandang point yun actually. Kasi parang tayo na nag-uusap about this ngayon, pinag-usapan natin siya, we're millennials, di ba? So we know the life of balance more or less na we grew up in the non-technological world, naglalaro pa tayo sa labas dati, di ba?
Yeah.
Tapos we grew into this new technology, new landscape. Pero yung mga iba na yung Gen Z ngayon na they're born into it. They're the digital natives, right? That's what they're called.
Yes.
And they just, from birth, nakatutok ka na sa tablet to watch whatever, Peppa Pig, ganyan. Hindi na yata uso si Peppa Pig.
Naisip ko.
Paw Patrol, gano'n.
Oh my God, yeah.
Di ko na alam yung mga yun.
Pero ang hirap din na, I mean, you can't blame their generation also kasi if I am a parent, I mean, I'd probably let my kid use tablet also, watch YouTube because some of it is educational and and also because I have to work, I have to entertain my kid while I'm doing the laundry. So parang, shucks, it's such a double-edged sword na, ililimit ko, pero kailangan din niya na matutunan gamitin. Kailangan ko rin gamitin yon as a tool to help my kid. So, yon, kailangan talaga ng balance, the trickiest part.
Feeling ko nga rin iPad and yung mga tablet, yung mga gadgets, feeling ko in parenting, I'm not yet a parent, pero feeling ko in parenting, gadgets are the new hot dogs. Because hindi kasi, hot dogs are ang hot dog ay junk food.
Yeah.
Hindi, kahit pagbali-baligtarin mo yung hotdog, kahit lagyan mo siya ng carrots, kahit lagyan mo siya ng asparagus, junk food siya.
True.
Diba? Pero, nung unang inintroduce ang hotdog, revolutionary siya. Sobrang helpful niya sa parents. Kasi ang daling lutuin.
Yes.
Sumabay yun sa panahon na nagiging egalitarian na ang society, meaning, economically egalitarian, both men and women are working. So, yung mga magulang, especially up to now, ang expected na magluto, I'm not saying that has to be the case, pero ang expected na magluto, yung mga nanay, double role na sila, kailangan nilang magtrabaho economically, and meron din silang labor sa house.
Yeah.
So, to save time for their family, magluluto na lang sila ng like hotdog, maling, spam, nuggets, and they're doing it na well-intentioned.
Yeah.
Para makasave ng time and mabigay yung time na yon sa sa other things which is for the family also.
Yeah.
Same with tablets, 'di ba? Nagtatantrums yung anak mo, kailangan mong magtrabaho especially now na work from home ang mga magulang. So anong better option? I mean, anong more convenient option, not pala better, anong more convenient and faster option than to give the kid a tablet or a gadget? O dyan ka, sige, mag-YouTube ka dyan para makapagtrabaho ko para sa kinabukasan mo. So, I understand that we cannot blame the parents for resorting to gadgets to save time.
Yeah.
Pero, just like hot dogs, regardless of the intention, hindi niya maka-cancel out yung negative and harmful effects na dulot ng gadgets na binibigay sa mga bata. So I know it's a very tricky situation. I think that's why it's called a dilemma. Kasi it's a hard choice eh. Diba?
And that's why we're here.
So, yun.
Usapan nga natin yung mga iba-ibang nuances of that film and the different topics covered by it. Syempre, let's go and talk about our points, opinions, and violent reactions. Sabi nga ni Tito Boy at ni Chris Aquino. POV. Ganon. So,
mag-disclaimer ka rin ba na ang opinion ng mga
the opinions of the host do not
the views and the
opinion of the network. Gusto ko lagyan ng show yung ganon eh. Gusto ko lagyan ng parang OBB. Pero parang di siya bagay sa podcast. But
ay
anyway,
nako, ang ABS-CBN ay may ganon. Gayon pa man, pinasara pa rin sila. So,
true.
fuck disclaimers.
Oh my God, can we curse?
It's not gonna save you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, syempre we already started the discussion. Si Hazel nga said siya yung nakaligtas sa social media na hindi siya masyadong immersed in it. Pero for Carla and Nika, how's your social media usage? Parang,
Oh my gosh.
syempre, yun na yung
Yes, Nika.
new economy na talaga siya, diba?
It's so hard. Charot, umiyak. Kaya, alam mo yung sa phone, di ba, merong screen time limiter na
Yes.
meron ka lang certain time na for a day, 1 hour lang ako sa ganitong app, sa gaming, sa social media. I've had that timer on since the start of the pandemic.
Kamusta?
Eto naman.
Ito
Ganito
naman,
pa rin. Eto na.
restart in 15 minutes.
Yes! Oh my God! How did you know? Charot.
Ganun din ako eh.
You're not alone.
As in, like, siguro mga 3 times a day ko nire-restart in 15 minutes. Parang, oh my God, why do I even bother? So, yon. Sometimes, I delete the app na lang on my phone. Dahil, my gosh, ang hirap niyang hindi tingnan.
Tapos kailan mo ibabalik ulit? Kailan mo i-reinstall?
After a day. Marupok eh.
Pero kung ang hirap kasi nun kung marami kang accounts na magla-login ka ulit. You have your podcast Twitter, your personal Twitter, Instagram, ganun din.
Yeah.
Ang dami mong credentials na itatype mo ulit or something. It's parang ang weird lang. Kasi parang for me.
And I just... Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go.
You can go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say na, can I just take this opportunity for thanking Nika? She's like taking the bullet for the 3 of us. It's an adult thing. Kasi siya yung may hawak ng lahat ng social...
Yeah.
Lahat ng social media ng It's an Adult Thing. Si Nika po iyon, guys.
Yeah.
So, super thank you, Nika, for... You are our human sacrifice.
It's an addiction. Charet.
Gusto niya pala eh. Tapos hindi tinulungan. Gusto mo yan.
Willing victim pala siya.
Pero yun na nga eh. Parang in this generation, in this time and place that we find ourselves in, parang the whole world is seemingly dependent on it, from your job, your leisure, and connecting with your loved ones. Especially ngayon na nasa pandemic tayo, di ba? Na wala talagang choice. You have to be on screen all the time.
Yeah.
Parang ako, yun yung struggle ko ngayon eh. Parang, how do I not be on screen for a part of the day? Because everything, parang yung news mo nandun, yung entertainment mo nandun, friends mo nandun din, di ba? So parang, paano tayo, di ba? Paano na yung mata natin? Nakaka-ice cream a lot of the time.
Yeah. What I like about what you said is that we are seemingly dependent, meaning it seems like we have to be to be dependent,
Yeah.
but seemingly lang siya. It's an illusion. Because honestly, ewan ko sa inyo guys, if you resonate with me, pero lahat ng mga lodi ko sa mga craft ko, yung mga most productive, most impactful people, they are not always on screen. For example, the author of Digital Minimalism, si Cal Newport, sobrang productive na professor, na social may commentarist ba? Commentator? Author. Wala siyang social media at all. Yet, kilala siya sa buong mundo. It's because his works speak for himself. He doesn't have to announce everything na I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Hey guys, notice me, senpai. Charot. It's an illusion. And I remember, ang sabi ni Ryan Holiday, also one of the most prolific writers of our generation. He's a millennial. Sobrang workaholic guy. Not that it's a good thing. Very, very productive and impactful. Sabi niya, sobrang nag-stick sa akin, the relationship between work and talk is that one kills the other.
Wow.
So the more you post about it, doing like this, doing like that, that's less time for us to actually do the work. So it's an illusion. We just want the world to see or to feel that we're producing something when we're not. We're just talking about producing something, coming up with something. Pero are we really producing something, or are we just talking about it?
True.
Yes, ma'am, Hazel.
Kasi may concern ko yun dun sa parang he can be like famous and successful without being on the internet. Ang laking concern sa akin nito, ma'am, kasi lalo na sa work natin nasa production tayo.
Yeah.
Tapos may naririnig pa ako na parang, ito pa, parang may natakot na line. Merong line na sinabi na parang, if your work isn't online, your work doesn't exist. Tapos parang, oh my God, for someone like me na sobrang, ma'am, if i-check nyo yung Instagram ko, Facebook ko, halos walang post maliban sa it's an adult thing, and yun lang talaga yung importante. Yun lang kasi yung parang gusto kong i-share. Kasi, and so, alarming yun sa akin. Kasi, it makes sense, okay? If my work doesn't, parang, if I don't post my work, how can I get more work? I mean, yes, I have my network, I have my friends, pero, oh my God, so natakot lang ako dun sa line na yun. Tapos, there are people like Gary V, parang he keeps on pushing people to use social media, that parang maximize it. Well, he owns VaynerMedia, 'di ba? Kasi yun yung business niya. Pero yun, medyo ang scary lang nung ganong line, and especially sa line of work namin. Like, meron akong mga kaya importante yung org. So, thank you, Nika, Carla, sa mga rackets na binigay nyo at sa mga projects na nakasama ko kayo. Pero, without my network, now, na nandito lang tayo sa bahay, di ba? Parang, how will people know about my work? Yun, Carla, sobrang concern ko yun. But still, I don't post. Tapos, my stories, I only share to my close friends. Parang gan. Parang kung I wanna keep myself, I wanna keep my life private. Kasi nga feeling ko, if I post something, paano ba yun? I'm making an image of myself na hindi totoo. Parang ganon. So, yung sabi rin ni Carla na you're posting, but you're really not producing, meron akong rule doon. I only post when it's done. Like, for example, yung sa biking, I only posted na I bike after I bike. Parang ganun. Tapos may personal rule ako na ganun. I won't post the process. Though, meron din silang sinasabi na if you want, parang create a community of creators na parang, alam mo yun, beginners, post your process. So, daming contradicting ideas ngayon about the internet and productivity and and success. So nakaka-pressures siya. And at the same time, you want your life to be private and away from the online world. Parang ganun.
Sige, meron akong sagot. Pero this is just coming from me. I mean, I'm sure marami pang ibang possible ways to respond to that dilemma. One is, personally, kung ang worry natin, I think, is about sa contribution, sa production, paano ka magiging relevant kung wala ka sa social media. Personally, ang natutunan ko is identify the source of your maximum positive impact. Saan, ano yung work na kapag ginawa mo, doon ka pinakamaraming naaapektuhan positively. I-rank mo yung mga yan.
Okay.
In my case, before ko napag-isip-isip yun sa buhay ko, I was doing editing, directing, assistant directing, writing, researching. Ano pa ba mga pinagagawa ko, mga mamshi? Kung ano-ano. I mean, and it's not a bad thing. And it was a exploration time for me. Pero nung naspotan ko na kung ano yung purpose ko, or saan ako pinakamahusay, yung na-optimize ko yung every minute of my work dahil I'm in my element, which is learning and sharing knowledge. That's why I teach. That's why I do podcast. So nung alam ko na doon yung maximum positive impact ko, yung resources ko, especially my time, doon ko binubuhos.
Okay.
Kasi, tapos, dahil nahuhusayan ko doon, like, mukha bang maraming listeners ang It's an Adult Thing dahil sa social media posts natin? No, it's because of our content. And if I take away hours from that thing or craft of producing content, tapos i-reallocate ko yun sa social media, doon bababa ang listeners natin kasi magde-deteriorate yung content ng It's an Adult Thing. Kasi ni-spread out ko yung hours ko, yung buhay ko sa mga other works na hindi naman maximum positive impact yung napoproduce ko. Same with I think special chunk of our listeners are my students. And it's not like I'm requiring them to listen to It's an Adult Thing. Pero I really invest kasi so much time and emotions in teaching.
Yeah.
And I think nagma-manifest yon dun sa relationship na bibuild ko with my students. Tapos, nagiging byproduct yung pakikinig nila ng It's an Adult Thing. So, for me, actually, I think kahit mag-deactivate ako ng social media ngayon na, hindi magle-lessen yung maximum positive impact ko. I will still be relevant sa craft ko. But, if you're in sales, na kailangan mong talagang ma-feel yung presence mo,
Yeah.
eto, nakuha ko to sa one of the original core team ng Facebook. I think siya yung isa sa team na nag-imbento ng pagtanggal yung di ba unlimited na yung scroll up natin?
Yeah.
Sila yung team na naka-imbento nun. And endless scroll. I think if I remember, either that or the team who invented the like button or both. Basta sila yon, mga OG sa Facebook. Hindi na niya kinaya yung moral dilemma, so she left. She now has her own company. Of course, she needs social media for that. And that's why she hired a social media manager. Kasi for her, mas economical for her to pay someone to do that. Kesa ibibigay niya yung oras niya sa social media when she can do something more productive, something more important, more fulfilling.
That's such a great point.
Si Mark Zuckerberg, na owner ng Facebook na marong millions if multi-million friends sa Facebook. Tuwing kailan lang siya nagpo-post. Pag nagpakasal siya, pag nagkaanak siya, I mean,
Yeah.
kapag nag-public apology siya, yun lang. And that's Mark F. Zuckerberg. He doesn't need to post every time to be relevant. Yes, Cholo, sorry, you were saying something.
Yeah, ang gandang point nun. I mean, not just about social media, but about doing work. Kasi nga, ang dami ngayon, uso na talaga yung jack of all trades, di ba?
Yeah.
Na kaya na natin lahat.
Yeah.
Mag-YouTube ka lang, alam mo na kung paano gawin yan. Kung kailangan mo ng racket, okay, go, go, go. Pero ang gandang learning yon na parang, yeah, actually you should think about what you're best at. It's something I'm starting to learn. I've been starting to learn na parang, yun na nga, parang you just have to know what you're best at, what you're good at, because you can't spread yourself too thin.
True.
Na parang, there's so many people out there who can do the same things, but can you actually like stand out parang from the crowd?
Yeah.
Pero at the same time, I guess coming off of what Hazel said din, parang yun nga I guess it also lies between what industry you're in. Because like, kunwari, kung ako nasa music industry ako, we really have to promote the music on social media because Spotify is so saturated, for example, or diba, iba na yung ano ngayon, iba na yung music economy, digital music economy. And then for mga other promotional things. Pero I guess, yun nga, parang how do we, it's so hard. Parang walang sagot dun sa tanong ngayon diba?
It's a deliberate choice kasi it's a trade-off. Tulad nga ng turo ni Greg Mag-Iwan sa Essentialism. My favorite book of all time. It's a fact of life, yung phenomenon ng trade-off. Sa bawat yes mo sa isang bagay, it's an automatic no to 1,000 other things. So sa bawat yes mo sa pag-online, sa Facebook, that's an automatic no to your sleep time, to your playtime with your kid, to your meal time, to your workout time.
Yeah.
And we don't even need to put in guilt dito sa reality ng trade-off. It's a neutral phenomenon. Yun lang talaga ang buhay. For every yes to one thing, it's a no to 1,000 other things. And we really have to make deliberate choices. Hindi yung namamanipulate lang tayo ng mga factors na we don't even know they exist. I don't know, Nika and Hazel, is it okay if I share about one of our deliberate choices na
Which one?
gulat sila
Ano to?
Yung idea na mag-start ng It's an Adult Thing community, yung closed group. Yeah. Kasi we know for a fact na mas dadami yung engagement ng It's an Adult Thing kapag bumuo kami ng isang page, isang group ng fellow adults namin. Tapos doon magbabatuhan ng ideas and all. And it's a great idea. Pero we know then for a fact that if we put in time for that, and that's time consuming magbabasa ka ng maraming posts, mag-react ka, mag-admin ka, magdi-discuss kaming tatlo to come up with a unanimous opinion or something like that. It's time consuming. So we know for a fact na if we do that thing na mag-grow ng engagement, it will take away time from our actual producing. It will take away time from our editing. It will take away time from our other work na nagsusustain ng buhay namin, aka kung saan kami kumikita. So trade-off siya. We had to postpone that at usapan natin, sige, mag-venture tayo dyan when we can hire someone to be the admin.
Yeah.
But not our own time.
So we should pay Nika.
Actually, shit!
Nag-no na ako dyan, diba? I said no because I know it will take so much time and energy.
Cholo nga, one-man team
Ako lang lahat.
Diba?
How do you do
How
it?
do you do
Hindi ko
it?
rin alam. buhay pa naman. Pero that's a really valuable insight also na don't say yes to everything. It's okay to say no. Kasi lalo na sa Pilipinas, 'di ba? the yes culture. Just say yes
Yeah,
because your
oo.
boss will tell you to do
Oo.
this,
Oo.
your parents or family will ask you to do this. Pero it's okay to say no if you can't do it, if you can't really find yourself capable of doing something, 'di ba? It's okay to say no because if you keep on saying yes nga, parang yun nga, nauubos yung sarili mo rin, 'di ba?
Yeah.
True. Parang yung meme ngayon kasi merong mainit na talakayan na debate. Anong inuuna sa paggisa? Sibuyas o bawang? Tapos may meme na lumabas. Dati inuuna ko ang sibuyas pero ngayon sarili ko muna ang unahin ko.
I love it.
What the heck? Yan. Yes, guys, hindi masamang unahin ang sarili. Kasi,
Ay, sorry, go ahead.
I was just about to say na people think it's selfish na unahin ang sarili. Pero guys, we cannot give from an empty cup. So we really have to refill ourselves to be able to give.
Yeah.
Yun.
You have to choose yourself sometimes over other people, 'di ba? Because yun nga how will you be able to share your capabilities, your skills, and your person if you can't take care of yourself muna before you give it to others, 'di ba?
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, single po si Cholo.
May utang po si Nika.
By the way,
Segue.
may utang reto no?
Biglang nag-isumbok si Cholo.
Hello. Pero I guess that brings us to the next point nga na being in social media or using social media, it's such a double-edged sword nga na
Yes.
it has both positive and negative effects on all of us. For one, syempre yung positive na we're connected with everyone. I wouldn't have been able to meet you guys without the internet or diba, the podcast community, ganyan. And then syempre yung mga kamag-anak natin abroad na we never get to see personally, we get to talk to them. Even yung ngayon na pandemic na nasa kainta ka lang, kunwari ako nasa QC ako, 'di ba parang it's such a the world is smaller, 'di ba, with
Yes.
social media at ang dami nang nagawagi ng mga aim high Pinay joke.
Totoo yan.
Ang dami nakaahon, guys.
Yeah. Even dating, 'di ba? Even dating is in social media. You have your dating apps. You can meet so many people and other things, 'di ba? Everything is on your phone. Syempre there's education and information na our source of news is now on our phone. Parang before maghintay ka pa na lumabas sa TV Patrol. Ngayon parang the moment it happens, it's in your palms na, 'di ba? Parang those are the
Naka-live pa
no?
no?
Yun na nga. Parang may passerby lang na okay na video ko to na may nangyari. Tapos madami ka nang nahuhuli ng mga tao. Syempre you can catch cheaters, ganon. Or also, di ba?
Meron pa ba tayong hugot dito?
Wala naman.
I mean,
may lang, may tea lang ako nababasa sa mga feed ko na dalawang mag-ex na, you cheated on me, ganyan.
What's the tea?
We can't spill it here. So, ayun, any other positives for you guys? I mean, syempre, medyo obvious na yung mga pinag-uusapan natin kasi we all know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one big thing is all the tutorials. We can get all the tutorials that we want for free. Kung nung bata ako, feeling ko, kung meron ng YouTube, my God, may siguro marunong na akong mag-paint ngayon, marunong na akong mag-piano, or maybe not, because I could have been distracted by gaming. Pero it's free.
You could have been part of Al-Qaeda by now.
Oh my God, true. Yeah, so diba, everything, all the information is there for free, so accessible.
Yes. Siguro sa akin, ang sorry. Sa akin, meron kasi akong sinalihan, share ko na lang, meron kasi akong sinalihan ng online bootcamp, na 3 months siya. Hindi ko yun masasalihan if hindi naging available online. Kasi ang hirap bumiyahe from Fairview to kung saan man yung class. Pero since they offered it online, I was able to join the class. And now I know how to do kung anong merong mga inaral namin doon, right? So yun, yun yung naging at least positive effect niya sa akin, yung very recent ha. And yun, I learned actually almost everything. I learned from the internet nowadays. So where else, right? So yun.
May isang time na ano ako ng gulong, na-flatan ako. Tapos si YouTube ko lang, how do I fix the bike? Diba? Ang galing, di ako marunong mag-drive. Ay, hindi, nagda-drive ako tapos di ako marunong magpalit ng gulong. Pero alam mo yun, instantaneously, you can just fix your car by yourself because of YouTube.
Correct.
Yeah.
Go, Carla.
I think din naman kasi it's not helpful, it's not even productive to look at the internet as either good or bad. I think it's as dangerous as looking at humans, as the human species as good or bad. Kasi parang may mga tao na people are the worst or faith in humanity restored as if we are one homogeneous species na pare-pareho mag-isip, pare-pareho ng paniniwala, pare-pareho ng behavior. Yeah. Of course not. We're billion tayong magkakaibang tao. Meron lang tayong collective impact. Fine. Same with the internet. We cannot judge the internet as just good or just bad. So for me, my suggestion is that, and again, I got this from essentialism and digital minimalism, is to use the internet deliberately. And there are two aspects of using it deliberately. First is why? Ano yung intention? Mag-i-internet ba ako ngayon just because uncomfy ako sa situation? Meron akong kakilala 5 feet apart at ayoko siyang tignan, so mag-i-internet ako hanggang sa after 1 hour, scroll lang pala ako ng scroll. Or naflatan ka kasi ng gulong, so meron ka talagang intention, ba't ka mag-i-internet? Or manonood ka kasi ng The Social Dilemma, mag-i-internet ka talaga, di ba?
Yeah.
So, di ba?
Tama.
So, ayun, why? And then, second is when. I mean, sa totoo lang ha, anong thing sa internet ang sobrang urgent na kailangan natin lagi 24/7? Yung totoo lang. We can schedule using the internet, I mean, in almost every way. Like yung post namin sa It's an Adult Thing, it's scheduled.
Yeah.
Like, speaking for myself, ang Instagram ko ay weekend lang. Saturday, Sunday lang ako may Instagram sa phone.
Grabe, sobrang lodi ka dyan, Carla.
Thanks. Although Instagram pa lang kasi yung Facebook minsan pag pagod na akit sa mga ginagawa ko, bigla akong mapapa-login sa Facebook eh. Pero still, I mean, hindi naman natin hinahanapan ng bawat isa ng 100% or ng perfection when it comes to hacking ourselves sa paggamit ng internet. Kahit na 1% better lang than before. And then you do that 100 times along the way. Dude, okay na yun. Diba? So yun, let's be deliberate on why and when. Or if you want, who? Kung meron kang gustong i-connect, di ba, sa internet.
Tama.
Sorry, wala akong who eh. Why and ano lang? Why and when?
Wala pa.
Gagawan natin ng paraan.
Pero tama nga yun. Parang it's really what you make out of it. Di ba? Na parang, for me rin, yung ngayon na you have to respect din na people have different ways of using it. Na you can't just have someone at the snap of your finger na dahil di siya nag-reply sa messenger, pero nag-tweet pala siya, tapos nag-Instagram, tapos ikaw sasabihin mo parang, ba't di siya nag-reply sa akin? Eh, nandun naman siya sa isang social media. Parang respect din yung space. Kasi diba ngayon, lalo na na-blur na talaga yung lines between reality and social media, na parang, ano yun, you're supposed to be having everyone nakasakal ka na nandun. Oo, diba? Access to who, na parang pati yung work life, 'di ba? How does your professional work impact your personal work? Ay personal posts na parang your boss will be like, "Don't post this." But why? It's my personal space also, 'di ba? Mga ganun bagay, 'di ba? The lines are really blurred. Pero siguro syempre that's for people who are aware. we're lucky enough to be aware of these things na pinag-uusapan natin. Kasi ang dami lang, lulong na sila sa social media na hindi talaga nila makita yung, alam mo yun, yung behind the scenes or the thought behind it. They just do it, diba? And I guess that leads to... go ahead.
Sorry, I don't want to give the impression that we've always been like this, Because there was a point in my life na ang pinakakilala kong lunong sa social media was me. Like, seriously. And the reason why I have built this barrier and systems is because I needed to. I needed to save myself from that addiction. And I cannot give a better word for it. It was an addiction.
Yeah.
Ang hirap tanggapin kasi sa mga kasi merong substance addiction, fine. So nicotine, drugs, cocaine, whatever. May behavioral addiction. And that's what's happening to many of us, if not most of us ngayon. We are behaviorally addicted to social media or to our gadgets. And you can consider it an addiction kapag merong dalawang factors. Again, mahilig sa factors, Ma'am. Anyway, dalawang factors. First is, alam mo, aware ka na may negative impact to sa'yo. And second, you still cannot stop yourself from doing it.
Yeah. Parang
so kung...
Charot.
Ayan! Yan po tayo! Pero yes, I think so. It papasa siya, addiction. We're addicted to some people.
Nako, taas kamay po ang
Grabe.
victimized.
Pero kung ganun, pero nga guys, going back, kung ganun yung relationship nyo sa gadgets and sa social media, alam mong may negative impact and yet you cannot stop yourself from using it, that is behavioral addiction. So, kaya po ako, nililinaw ko lang na, I wasn't like, hindi naman kami matagal ng ganito.
Yeah.
Nalulung kasi kami. Kaya alam namin yung gamot. Because we needed to treat ourselves.
As the mother monster has said, my biggest enemy is me, diba? Ganun.
I love it.
You have to be aware na what's your situation? Where are you at right now? How is this affecting you, diba? Kasi, yun nga, not a lot of people are aware of what's happening to them. Yun nga. So parang syempre the biggest issue here is it's really affecting mental health, especially for Gen Z na yun na yung nakasanayan nila na wala silang world beyond it like we used to have na naglalaro ka sa daan or whatever, 'di ba? So syempre, 'di ba, only the happy parts are shown on social media. You don't see some people do share their sad events in their life. Pero generally, 'di ba? Generally speaking, your life is so curated na people only know what's on social media but not the full story behind it, 'di ba? And syempre, dadako na rin tayo dun sa fake news. Yan na ang pinaka malala sa lahat na we don't know what the truth is anymore. Or I feel like tayo naman dito sa grupong to, we know what the truth probably is. But a lot of people are really confused. Do we? I don't know. What is the meaning of life? Diba? Parang, we don't know. We have, our side has our own truth and another side has their own version of the truth. So, how does the human species integrate with each other now that these are all out there, diba? Syempre, lumabas na yung mga trolls, propaganda, fake accounts. We'll be talking more about that later. Any other points on the negative impacts? Can
I just build on what you said na curated naman kasi yung mga nilalabas natin sa social media? Sobrang totoo kasi guys, hindi ako nagsi-selfie pag bagong gising ako at mukhang maga yung mata ko. Of course not. And share ko na lang din. Kasi naging friends ko na din yung mga former students ko. Some of them, syempre hindi ako mag-mention ng names, pero interestingly and surprisingly, some of them nag-message sa akin para lang mag-share or maybe humingi ng advice. Tapos pare-pareho yung sentiments nila. Na, Miss Carla, I feel so, parang napag-iiwanan ako because all my friends in social media seem to be very productive, really nailing, doing what they want, alam nila yung purpose nila. Everybody feels like that. Yet
Yeah.
everybody's telling me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see
yeah.
the irony there?
Yes.
Na parang everybody thinks na sila lang yung left out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kasi ang pinapakita nating lahat is syempre yung mga positive, yung mga achievement natin, yung mga grateful for ganyan, #blessed. So akala ng mga tao na syempre sila sa buhay nila hindi naman filtered yung mga araw nila, so they know their lows, their highlights. Kapag down sila, alam nila. Tapos kino-compare nila yung everyday nila sa peak ng mga tao. Puro peak lang naman yung sinishare natin sa social media, di ba? So sabi ko nga, it's so unfair because if we compare our lives to the online lives of our friends, it's like comparing our morning faces with their profile pictures.
Yeah.
It's just not fair and not valid at all.
Yes.
Pero ang hirap labanan ng thoughts na yun Like, it's so hard to not compare yourself to other people. Like, oh my God, may
True.
natanggap siyang award. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
may nabili siyang bagong gadget. Oh my God, ang ganda ng balat niya. It's a constant struggle that I personally have to fight dahil, parang hindi ba part ng pagkatao natin na isn't that part of our hindi ba yung characteristic ng tao na to compare yourself to see your progress. So I think it's a natural thing. Pero kapag sumusobra kasi and it's reinforced on you every day, I think dun siya nagiging masama.
Yeah.
So yun.
Truths, Nika. I mean, legit yun guys na evolutionarily, our brains are designed to compare sa isa't isa. Kasi nag-evolve tayo with tribes. At sa tribe, para malaman mo kung ano yung status mo, kung alpha ka ba, kung utusan ka ba, kung nasa
aliping
nakararami
sa
ka ba,
gigilid ka ba?
yes, oo, kung outcast ka ba, kung nasa nakararami ka ba, we constantly had to compare ourselves within our tribes. Pero guys, gano'n lang kasi kalaki ang isang tribe.
True.
Yeah. Right.
Yun lang yung kaya ng utak natin, ng human mind, to compare ourselves with. But right now, we're comparing
Billions.
ourselves with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm comparing myself to Beyonce.
To Beyonce, who doesn't even know that you exist, girl.
Exactly. Yeah.
Aray,
diba?
Hindi ka kilala ni Beyonce pala.
Shout
Diba?
out to Beyonce.
I mean, pero we have to acknowledge that. Kasi pag sinabing, yung ibang tao kasi sasabihin lang na, wag mo kasing i-compare na parang lumalabas na, ay, insecure lang ba ako? Or inggitera ba ako? Or selosa ba ako? No, guys, normal yon. I mean, it's natural for us. What's not natural is yung environment natin, yung comparison natin is not within the tribe, but with the whole world.
Right.
Like, come on.
The universe.
We did not evolve for that.
The universe
Or
rather.
the universe rather.
The universe rather. Tama. Totoo, correct. Now that you put it in that perspective na, oo nga. Kinukumpara ko yung sarili ko sa mga Caucasians, diba? Mga ganon. Sa mga Olympic athletes. Diba? Ayun nga Okay, noted po.
And they designed the apps to be like that, to elicit strong emotions. So, ang lurks. Parang san ba lulugar, diba? Hindi mo alam if inspiration, fitspiration, or something that actually demotivates you. So, hindi mo na alam
Meron akong friend na, very self-aware siya. Sinabi lang niya casually na, I started unfollowing accounts na nag-e-evoke lang ng inggit, ng envy from my end. So, alam niya. Ayun.
Nice.
And it's for me, I find that admirable and very, very smart na she did not shame herself for feeling those very natural things. Instead, ang kinontrol niya, yung unnatural, which is seeing people who are all beyond the average, making it look as if that's the average human right now. So in-unfollow niya yung mga yon. So mas at peace siya sa buhay niya ngayon, di ba?
Yeah, and yun nga parang you really have to put yourself into context na we all have our different backgrounds, our different countries. Na you see Beyonce nga, but she lives in America. She's a black woman in America. But
Yeah.
we are
She's a
Filipinos
billionaire.
in this country.
Yeah.
And we experience different things, diba? So parang
Yeah.
iba-iba talaga. And siguro may nabasa rin akong magandang quote, not really about social media, but I guess you can apply it to this. Yung 80-20, alam niyo ba yun? Parang it's about
Pareto?
relationships, diba?
Principle.
Na parang you have the 80% of your life or your partner, and then naghanap ka lagi ng 20%. So, aalisan mo yung 80% kasi nahanap mo yung magbibigay ng 20%. Pero pag nasa 20% ka na, iniwan mo yung 80% You already have the 80% that's much more. So, parang, I guess you really have to put things into perspective as well. Diba?
So do you regret it, Cholo?
I have no regrets. Dahil wala namang pagre-regretan. Wala Single ako since birth. So wala. Ano lang yan.
Talaga ba?
Yeah.
Guys, nako.
Parang
Guys,
hindi ako naniniwala.
pila po tayo.
Ako
time
rin,
to
di ako
shine,
naniniwala.
Pero mamaya na yan. I guess yun nga parang you can also apply that to social media, diba? You have 80% of your life. You have a good set of friends. You have your family life. You have a stable career. And then you see the 20% that other people show. But parang you have to see that, be aware that that's just 20% of their life they show, or that's 20% you don't have. But parang parang be thankful for what you have, and also embrace what you have, and make do and thrive with what you have also.
Hello.
Yes,
Share ko lang
Hazel.
Gusto ko lang ikwento na I worked in this parang production company for a few months. And one of the production managers, one of the PMs, ay parang na-share niya na wala siyang social media. Parang wala siyang Facebook, walang anything. And, Mom, I swear, she's one of the happiest people I know. No joke. As in, para siyang ball of sunshine when you meet her. Tapos parang, sabi ko, wala kang parang FOMO. Sabi niya, saan pakaitam ko dun? She's so nice, she's so happy. Tapos parang, oh my God, Mom, she doesn't look like her age. Okay? Parang, she looks so young and so happy, so fresh all the time. Tapos, paano yung sabi ko sa mga events photos, sabi niya, meron naman ako sa phone. Yung mga photos na magta-take na lang daw siya ng picture. Or ipapashare niya, Bluetooth. I think up until this day, she doesn't have Facebook. So, she doesn't have Facebook. Parang, who doesn't have Facebook these days? So, parang, wow, she looks so happy, so young, so fresh. Siya, yeah. So, yun, parang, sana all happy. Go, Carla.
Sobrang relate ako dyan kasi itong 6 to 7 months ng pandemic sa Philippines so far, yung emotional state ko, pati my mental health actually, pansin ko never fails. Inversely related yung pagka-okay ko, emotionally and mentally, sa usage ko ng social media.
Oh.
Like, the more I use the social media, mas grabe yung anxiety ko.
Yeah.
Tas the less I use the social media, mas kalma ako. And to be clear, it's not like na kukulong lang ako sa burgis bubble ko, not wanting to know kung ano nangyayari sa mundo. Kasi guys, seryoso, yung mga kailangan kong malaman, sobra siyang pinag-uusapan sa mga social circles ko, like private chat. Nakakarating sa akin yung mga yan.
Yeah.
So it's not like kailangan kong magbabad sa social media every day just to know those things. Because if it's relevant enough, it will find its way to me. So kahit na nagle-lessen ako ng social media, I still get the relevant news. And of course, if it's something alarming, my loved ones would alarm me, would warn me. Pero dahil nga naglasin ako ng social media, yung mga articles, posts, mga statuses na nag-e-evoke ng extreme emotions from me, naiiwasan ko. So, hindi nagpa-fluctuate masyado yung everyday emotions ko na nakakapagod sa totoo lang. So, mas chill, mas zen, mas kalma ako when I minimize my social media use.
Yeah.
And it actually takes self-awareness para mapansin yon, to notice that, kung gaano ka fluctuating yung emotion mo sa bawat araw.
Yeah, actually ako din, parang there was a time na araw-araw bad news na lang sa Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to get out of here. I'll probably catch up na lang after a few days and see, makikita ko pa rin naman yan after a few days, diba? And that really helped me na parang, okay, kumalma din ako. Malalaman mo rin naman yun yung balitang yan eh. Eventually, you don't have to know it the moment it happens, diba?
Yes.
Totoo. Tapos incomplete information pa. One of the worst kind of news na pwede mong makuha is incomplete news.
Headline lang.
Kasi,
Clickbait lang.
the human mind cannot tolerate uncertainty or incomplete information. So, mas nakaka-aning siya for us. Yeah. So, yeah. Sometimes din kasi feeling natin it's such a bad world or it's such a bad life when in fact, ang pangat lang ng mga nabasa natin sa social media at that day. It's not fair for our existence to be judged that way.
Wow. But I guess it's really a bad country, no? Joke. Not the country pala. The people running it.
The leader.
Depende kung nasa ang socio-economic class ka.
Well, sorry.
Ayun.
Ano rin eh, parang swerte ng mga taga-Pasig, ganun. Ang ganda ng leadership nila.
Sana all.
Diba? Tapos yung dito sa Quezon City, hello po. Joke.
Baka mo, Katipunan.
Diba?
Baka maano.
Pero yeah, I mean, I think what makes a good country is kahit na nasa ang socio-economic class ka, you're well taken care of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
There's
is
really
not true sa
equal
Pilipinas.
opportunity here. Diba? Especially, we're
Yeah,
lucky enough
yeah.
to be in our houses. And
Yes.
not everyone even has internet that we're talking about, social media. They
Yeah.
rely
Totoo
on
yan.
free Facebook. That's why Facebook is
Mm-mm.
the only source of information, which isn't the best source of information, di ba?
Yes.
So, yung context na yun, ganun.
Mm-mm.
So, any other thoughts on that topic, which is yung positive, negative mental health, before we head on to our next segment?
I think yung sasabihin ko is sobrang basic na knowledge. Like, in everything, kapag sumobra, it's bad. Like,
Yeah.
sumobra ka ng kain, sumobra ka ng pagsuscroll, sumobra ka ng tulog, or sumobrang konting tulog mo. It's bad. So, yun, kung meron tayong basic thing na titingnan, positive or negative, kapag sobra, ay masama. Yung ang tanda no, ano. Pero kasi, yun talaga yung simplest way to look at it.
You have to constantly
Pero,
remind yourself di ba?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Pero ang mahirap kasi, ma'am, like, they designed it that way. Hindi talaga siya tutulong.
Na
Kasi
magbe-binge
ang effort,
ka.
Yeah. Ang effort talaga is nasa atin. Tapos
Yes.
parang if wala nga talagang awareness, it's really meant to be parang addictive. So, ang hirap na, parang yung mga leaders natin, sa atin pa yung effort, tinapon yung effort sa users. Parang gano'n, sa mga, sa sambayanan.
At tayo pa nagbayad sa tax, di ba?
Yes, yeah. Why not design it in a way na helpful? Pero yun nga they favor the big companies that pay for the ads for these. So yun, talo talaga So kailangan labanan mo. That's why books like Digital Minimalism exist. Kasi nga, parang ito na yung patutunguhan I mean, may nakikita bang future yung mga innovators na yun? Like, yung dun sa docu, what solution did they say? I mean, just to change how? Yun yung tanong ko actually. Did they answer that? Na how can you change?
Kaso spoiler
Spoiler, mamaya na sa dulo.
Yeah. So yun, parang nakakainis lang na, like, for example, mention ko lang yung latest episode namin, one of our latest episodes, which is yung trans fat, di ba? Parang, kailangan may bill pa talaga. Like, help the people. Like, help them fight kung ano mang meron to. Hindi yung just you design it in a way na kami pa yung mag-a-adjust. Parang ganun. Kami pa talaga yung mag-a-adjust. Yeah.
Pero I guess yun din yun eh. It's about, sorry. It's about the responsibility you have to take in yourself na may ano ka din dapat eh. You check yourself and you have to discipline yourself na I have to have an active role in how I use this and how I do things. It's not just falling into it and letting it happen. Although, syempre, going with the flow also helps in other aspects. But in terms of social media, di ba? Kailangan active user ka rin, not just taking it all in at the same time. But Carla was also wanted to say something.
Nakalimutan ko, ingay ng aso ko. Alala ko na. Yung sinasabi rin sa The Social Dilemma, mas applicable yon yung paradigm na it's just a tool. Like, depende kung paano mo siya gagamitin, di ba? O, agree yung aso ko.
Oh my God!
Kakaloka! Naramdaman niya kasing nagre-record ako kaya nakikisabay yan. Anyway, sige, kayo na nga muna, guys.
Wala raw siyang social media.
Sorry about that.
Nanghingi ng attention sa iyo.
Validation kasi galing sa'yo, Carla, hindi galing sa social media.
Sige. Mamaya iba-validate ko siya. Hopefully, I can get back to my point,
I think parang ganito lang yan. Parang sa carbon emissions. Parang laging sinasabi, lessen your carbon emissions, lessen your plastic waste. Gumamit ka ng metal straw, 'di ba? Pero if you look at it, scientists say na yung mga pinoproduce nating waste, na residential waste, is nothing compared to the industrial waste na pinapakalat nila. So, kung sino yung may malaking impact, dapat ganoon din kalaki yung responsibility niya. Same with social media. Kung ganito yung karami hina-harvest at pinagkakakitaan yung information namin, at ito kami hinuhook sa social media, then you should be held accountable. You should be, dapat may ethical standards, dapat may regulation. So, yun yung, my God, did I spoil that thing?
Yeah, but I guess that really, that brings us to the next issue or the next topic, which is the algorithms and capitalism of social media. Kasi isa yun sa mga main points, di ba? Which is, yes, social media is free for us to use. You can sign up, you don't have to pay. But sabi nga nila, we are the product being sold to advertisers.
If you're not paying, you're the product.
Yes, di ba? We are, our information that we put in, our likes, our, parang the stuff we, alam mo, pinapakita nila na, yung mga hindi mo tinitingnan or di ka matagal nandun sa video na yon, parang mawawala na yun sa algorithm and papakita na ng papakita yung mga gusto mong tinitingnan. Kunwari, yung isang product, di ba? Alam niyo yun, pag nasa Shopee kayo, di ba? Lalabas sa search bar nyo, lagi, kung ano yung mga sinesearch nyong hilig nyong bilhin, di ba? So parang it really tells you what you like. I mean, you show it what you like and then it will just keep on reinforcing that, diba, to keep you going on and on and on. And a lot of people aren't aware about this. They're just like, okay, I'll click this, I'll buy. And then that's why you're in that cycle, diba?
Yes. Sige, ayan, tumahimik na yung aso ko. Yes! So, I think ituhog ko na yung reaction ko to that thing that you're saying, Cholo, and to what Nika just said also a while ago, since they're related. Yung notion kasi na just, dapat tayo rin, we take it upon ourselves, na we choose to do this, to do that. But the thing is, and most humans don't know this, like I just learned this from neuroscientists, psychologists, like names like Bruce Lipton and other neuroscientist, the human mind, yung deliberate choices natin, like when we choose the words we say, when we choose kung ano yung uulamin natin, when we choose kung anong oras tayo matutulog, our everyday choices, deliberate choices, just make up 5% of our everyday choices. The 95% are all subconscious.
Right.
Like ngayon, kung nakatingin ng mga, kung if you people, if our listeners see us, I'm sure Nika did not deliberately choose to touch her temple and her nose. Did you deliberately choose that? No, that's subconscious. That's subconscious. 95% ng choices natin, subconscious. So tayo, kahit na i-100% natin, yung deliberate choice natin, 5% lang yon ng everyday choice natin. Ngayon, itong mga sinasabi ni Cholo na algorithm, ang tina-target niya ay yung 95% na subconscious choices natin. Ganon tayo kawalang laban sa algorithm ng supercomputers behind our gadgets.
Yeah.
So kahit nasabihin natin paulit-ulit sa mga anak natin, sa mga nanay natin, sa mga kaibigan natin, hindi, just choose mo lang lagi. Sa'yo naman yan eh. No, hanggang 5% lang yung power ng deliberate choice mo every day.
Yeah.
Kaya we need systems to regulate the algorithms that hack our 95%.
Yun nga kasi 'di ba 95% yun, pero times 1,000 because the algorithms are there to reinforce that, 'di ba? Nakikita na lang nila sa cookies mo, 'di ba?
Tinatodo talaga.
Nakikita na sa cookies mo na ito yung mga nagustuhan mo sa wherever website, and then lalabas yun sa side ng Facebook mo. Alam niyo yung parang surveillance nila na naririnig nila sa phone mo yung mga pinag-uusapan. Tapos lalabas na lang siya sa
That's so true.
phone,
Yeah.
'di ba? Parang may one time yata nag-uusap lang kami, ano bang masarap na Singaporean food? Nung kami ng mga office mate ko. And then, the next thing I know, when I go to my office desktop, may ad na for a Singaporean restaurant somewhere.
Oh
Parang,
my God.
how can that be fake, di ba?
That happens, yeah. Tapos feeling mo sa una parang, wait, coincidence lang ba yun? Pero parang, that's so weird. That's so weird.
Yeah. Sige,
diba?
let's talk about something now, and then let's see mamaya kung lalabas siya sa ads natin.
Let's talk about paano yung maman. Charot.
Taong magmamahal kay Cholo. Charot!
Ako, sige, palabasin natin siya. Let's go.
Baka lumabas bigla.
Baka may ad.
May ad nun for Tinder. Sure, mamaya.
Yeah, true. Mga ganon, di ba? Yeah. Scary.
Really,
Anyway.
diba? So parang do you think AI will one day really take over the world? Kasi diba mga Terminator, Black Mirror, yun ang topics, diba? And it's really happening right before our very eyes without us knowing. Kasi doon, diba, very physical manifestation. You have the Terminator, which is a robot person. But here, it's our daily essentials, which is our laptop, our
It's
phone.
invisible.
Diba? Andiyan na siya eh. Pero nangyayari na yung revolution ng AI. And parang sabi nga sa movie, diba? I don't think the people who created the algorithms even know how the algorithms work anymore after they make it, diba? So yun yung nakakatakot eh. Na how do we fight the Terminator in the future? Dahil nangyayari na yun sa natin, sa mundo natin ngayon. Yes.
For me, one mind-boggling talaga na in-expose ni Tristan Harris is effort talaga ng Tristan. Anyway, na-mind-fuck ako kasi ang ina-explain niya is we've been anticipating the point when AI will overtake the human strength. Kaya niyan nila tayo matatalo. Sabi niya masyado tayo nakafocus doon when in fact, na-miss na natin yung another important point in history when AI overtook the human weaknesses.
Yes.
That's why it can manipulate us. Nahack na niya tayo eh. Alam na niya ang weaknesses natin. We want validation. We want random rewards. We want novel things. We want confirmation bias. Kung DDS ka, alam niya na ang gusto mo pang i-consume na next media is puro pro Duterte.
Totoo.
Kung
Yeah,
anti-Duterte ka, alam na niya na kung ang
Yeah.
next mong gustong mga mapanood or ilalike ay mga anti-Duterte.
Yeah, mag-a-affirm
Kaya nga,
ng mga...
ng
Yeah.
mga biases natin.
Mm-mm.
So, na-overtake na niya yung human weaknesses natin. Kaya
Oh,
nga
no.
sinasabi ng modern philosophers natin right now is that AI knows us better than we know ourselves.
Yes.
Hindi pa natin alam na gusto natin, ino-offer na nila right in front of us.
My God.
Scary.
Yun na nga
Yeah,
parang
but it's
hintayin pa
true.
ba natin yung Skynet sa Terminator? Or we already have Facebook which is doing that for us. Diba?
Yes.
Wala na lang yung robot Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
manifestation of it.
Hasta la vista,
Diba?
baby.
Yun, andito na tayo sa panahon ngayon eh. And syempre, yun nga yung challenge ng social dilemma is how do we fight back? How do we take our
Yeah.
lives back and be active about it, diba? Pero kayo marupok ba kayo sa mga ads, kunwari, ganyan na...
Ay! Si Hazel kanina kumakayes sa mga habang nagkasalta ka. Sorry, yes siya ng yes. Parang, yes, Hazel, feel na feel mo na ano.
Narinig mo na lang yung...
Oo! Relate na relate.
Ads. The thing with ads, ang galing nila.
Oo.
As in, kung ano yung lumalabas na ads, as in, pasok talaga dun sa kung anong hinahanap mo eh. The thing, yun nga eh, hindi mo pa hinahanap, ipe-present na nila. So, nape-predict na nila yung next action mo, yung kung kunyari meron ka mang interest. So, magpapakita sila ng something na hindi mo pa na-explore. Pero very much related to parang what your interests are. So, lalaki siya ng lalaki until rabbit hole. So, maubos ka na doon. I mean, yung oras mo and everything na hindi mo naman intention na ma-discover at mapuntahan. So, ang question is marupok, yes. Pero, to answer your question, marupok, yes. But, spending, well, usually yun naman ang goal nila, diba, is to earn from the ads. As for these companies to, for you to buy their products. Well, nakakapreno on parang sa part na yon. So yun, marupok pero na marupok pero napipigil.
Marupok pero walang pera.
Please, i-quote
Diba?
kita dyan. Marupok pero walang pera.
Pero,
So, may panlaban.
yeah, pero bouncing off what Nika said din, tama nga naman eh. It's really in moderation, di ba? There's nothing wrong about being marupok. Basta alam mo yung limits mo about spending, about what you press on social media. You should know yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you should be aware nga of what your limits are and how you're to go about it. Yes, Carla.
Yeah.
Alam niyo yung mga findings ng mga behavioral scientists and psychologists also, apparently, yung mga most disciplined, quote unquote, yung mga most disciplined people are just as marupok as the rest of us. You know what they're good at? Inuunahan nila yung
Hiding
weaknesses
it.
nila.
Joke.
Alam nila. Hiding it.
Pwede rin.
Pwede rin. Yun nga, they have the same weaknesses. Pero, first, aware sila na, shit, weakness ko yan. And second, naglalagay sila ng mga barrier to protect those weaknesses. It's not as if wala silang weaknesses. So, halimbawa, alam nila na marupok sila sa gantong klase ng pagkain. Therefore, hindi nila i-expose yung sarili nila sa eat all you can sa panahong gutom sila, at wala silang ibang choice.
Okay.
Kasi alam nila that they will give in.
Yeah.
Mm.
Parang yung leche flan lang
So,
kanina. Pinasok ko na sa ref.
Yun. So, we outsmart ourselves. So, kung ang tanong is, marupok ba kayo? Lahat tayo, guys, marupok. The better question is, alam mo ba yung points ng weaknesses mo at alam mo ba how to protect yourselves from those? Kasi given na marupok tayo lahat, human beings are marupok. We are a marupok species.
Title of this episode. Yes, let's go.
Marupok! So the
Marupok dilemma.
The marupok dilemma.
In all aspects of life po yan.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Push yan.
So I think I think the way to go around it is to acknowledge our karupukan and set up systems to protect ourselves from our own karupukan.
Yes, delete Shopee after 10:10. Balik,
Totoo yan na. Like I highly suggest that, encourage that.
balik ka na lang sa 11:11, gano'n.
Oo,
Balik pa rin.
totoo. Or
Uy,
kahit few days
10-10.
before para ma-add to cart mo na beforehand.
Para may voucher ka na, di ba?
Oo,
Gusto ko
totoo.
yung alam natin yung galawan.
Diba?
Naka-ready na ako mag-midnight na.
Ay, true.
Oh my gosh,
no.
actually.
Yeah. Ala, na-excite sila
Yan,
lahat,
yan.
oh.
Ito na ang Marurupok Nation.
Ito na po.
Any other
Yan.
thoughts on that, capitalism and social media?
Hirap niyang labanan.
Yeah.
Na alam mong hindi sila titigil as long as they're earning from it. So, yeah.
So, I think yung sa sinasabi ni Carla na kailangan natin mag-build ng barriers ng protection. I think that should not just come from us, but also from the creators, from
Yes.
the
True.
innovators. Dapat
Yeah.
mag-meet tayo in the middle. Parang gano'n.
Yeah, tayo lang
Kaya
balagi
nga meron
dapat.
silang ethicist eh.
Correct.
Totoo
True.
yan. Mm-mm.
It's a two-way
Ethical dilemma rin
street,
siya
diba?
eh.
Di lang siya one way lagi. Dapat, bigayan din. Parang ganun.
Correct.
Are we still talking about social media here?
Ang daming hugot ni Cholo sa episode.
Mamaya na yun. Puro brush off lang eh. Baka, pero anyway, I guess that also leads us to, one of the last main issues presented in this documentary, which is, of course, the politicization, divisiveness, polarization, and the echo chambers we find in social media. It's arguably the biggest issue it has created in this world. I mean, of course, mental health, we have to take care of ourselves. We've gone through that even before the age of social media. Kahit ano naman dati sa TV ka makakaroon ng insecurities dahil nakita mo kung sino. Ngayon sa internet lang na transfer.
Yeah.
Pero itong politics and the world it has created, the new world it has created for not just the Philippines, but the rest of the world, diba? Na, diba, dito sa Pilipinas, social media is king. We're one of the most active users in the world, siguro. And Facebook is free, diba? So parang it really brought about the current situation, whether other people acknowledge it or not, diba? Na parang, syempre, may mga seemingly trivial things na pinag-aawayan on the internet, like mga flat earthers, naniniwala ka ba na bilog ang mundo or flat ang mundo? Those are kind of trivial na di ka naman nakakasakit ng tao kung naniniwala kang flat ang earth,
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
Pero yung bigger scale, diba?
Nakakasakit ka lang ng ulo.
Yun nga diba? Those are like small things na forgivable and you can teach people. Pero yung bigger scale issues like history is being revised in front of our very eyes, and propaganda is just being thrown at our at social media every day, and people are just very susceptible to it, diba? Syempre yung election pa lang, Duterte and Trump, those were really made through social media. Those wins are social media wins, diba? And there wasn't anything done about it, diba? Yun, syempre, with that also, yung echo chambers, pinakita din nila yun na parang, essentially, social media shows us the people who are very alike, na, okay, sa feed ko, lalabas yung mga anti-Duterte, lahat ng anti-Duterte people. And then, sa other side naman, lahat ng pro-Duterte, as Carla was saying, all the content that's pro-Duterte will be appearing in your feed because you're in that echo chamber. And then the moment nga na may taong against that, you're gonna be like, okay, I'll just delete this person because I don't share the same values. And that, like, on the other hand, na social media brings us together in many different ways. It also pulls us apart na the world is slowly being like polarized nga na one side versus the other
Yeah.
side, and we can't find the middle ground, sabi sa movie, 'di ba? Na kayo ba, have you guys
Yeah.
unfriended people because they don't share the same values, or do you have it on your feed so you can discuss, 'di ba? Kasi yun na yung naging malaking usapan nung 2016 na parang ay pro
True.
Duterte ka, I don't believe in that, I'll unfriend you, even up till now, 'di ba? Ang daming taong ganun.
Well, I can't unfriend my dad. But
Oh my
but yes,
God.
I have unfriended other people. So yun, hindi ko lang unfriend si daddy.
I-hide mo
I-
na lang siya.
I unfriended some, but I retained some because I wanna spy on I wanna spy on what they're saying, what they're thinking. Also, sometimes it's a form of entertainment. Sobrang, are you serious right now? Parang may mga ganong moments. Pero minsan din nakakagalit kasi parang may isip mo, oh my God, this is what he or she is telling his or her kids. Or ito yung mababasa ng mga friends niya.
True.
So, iba-ibang emosyon yung nararamdaman ko. Minsan natatawa ka na lang, minsan magagalit ka. Pero, I try not to remove all of them kasi nga napansin ko na parang baka naman we're just agreeing with the same people. I'm just yung circle ko sila rin yun. Pare-pareho na iniisip. So yun.
True.
Pero yun nga, 'di ba? It's not just isolated into this virtual world kasi affected na yung real world because of it na dahil nga nangyari yung propaganda, yung fake news, 'di ba? Apektado tayo ngayon dahil ganito ang nangyayari sa mundo at walang ginagawa ang mga taong nandun, 'di ba? Or meron namang iba, naglagay sila ng white sand. Ganon.
For our
Dolomite
mental
ka
health.
more.
Correct. Siguro para mas maintindihan nung iba what we're talking about, maybe they can also watch what's that
The Great Hack.
documentary, The Great Hack. It's about how Cambridge Analytica hacked different elections all over the world, sa US, Philippines,
Yes.
India, tama ba? So, if you want to supplement what you learn from Social Dilemma, you can also watch that. Grabe yung
Nakakagalit.
nakakagalit at saka nakakatakot na parang there are
Yeah.
people like this who do not care whether that country will starve or will have civil war,
Yes.
as long as
Yes.
they earn money
Get
from
paid.
Yeah.
data they're giving.
Scary. Ni Alexander Nix, no, ma'am?
As
He
in, parang
doesn't care.
Oo.
Yeah, si Alexander Nix yung CEO ng Cambridge Analytica. So, yun.
Yeah, so yun na nga eh. Parang, yeah, you wanted to say something.
To answer your question, paano ba? Okay, so I kind of voted for the wrong president.
It's fine.
Confession.
Joke lang.
Delete na kita sa group.
So
Bye.
Kick out. I was an ex-DDS, so I voted for Duterte, and I was super sure he would be the greatest Philippine president of all time. And looking back, seriously guys apparently, so nag-post ako about it, na I was an ex-DDS, blah, blah, blah. My intention was to make people feel safe and to give the impression that it's okay to change our minds midway, mid-history.
Yeah.
Hindi natin kailangan panindigan yung maling boto natin.
Totoo. Yeah.
We can update our beliefs or opinions. It's okay. Parang hindi maitatama ang isang mali by katapalan mo ng marami pang kasinungalingan, denying so many facts. So I posted about it, and then one of my friends, smart friend, yung tono niya is parang in the first, something like, syempre hindi ganito may kasabi niya, pero ang point is, in the first piece kasi, how could you not have known? Tapos sabi ko kasi he started he lost my loyalty the moment na patraidor niyang nilibing si Marcos sa libingin ng mga bayani. Because I had no idea that
Never
he was a
forget.
Marcos ally.
Yeah.
I had zero idea. And this smart friend of mine na anti-Duterte, point niya is, how could you not have known? Na parang, talaga, paano mo hindi alam? Imposible. I knew about it. Stuff like that. My point is, I don't know kung bakit ko hindi alam. Kung alam ko, I wish I knew, but I don't. So my point is, I felt so blamed for something that I did not know. And it's very, very humbling because that's what I've been doing to many other people whom I think or whom I thought were plain stupid. Parang, how could you not know, guys? Like, I know all of this stuff. Of course, I know all of this now, all of this stuff. Ba't hindi nyo alam? Apparently, kasi literal na iba yung nasa feed ko, iba yung nasa feed nila, iba yung nasa Google ko, iba yung nasa Google nila. Ganon ka-fragmented ang reality natin ngayon. And we keep on insisting na, guys, isa lang naman ang truth. At ito yung truth na yon. Yung truth ko, yung truth na nyo rin dapat. But that's not what they're seeing. Kumbaga parang nakakakita tayo ng color na iridescent ba yung tawag doon?
Yeah.
Yung parang rainbowish.
Yeah.
Tapos ang sa side ko lang, ang nakikita ko is the red side. And then sa other side, ang nandun is the violet side. Tapos nagtatalo lang kami ng nagtatalo. It's red, it's violet, it's red. No, you're stupid. We always end up with that conclusion. No, you're just stupid, period. So wala nang diskurso, puro debate. It's all about who is right rather than what is true.
Yes. Is it a blue dress or a gold dress, diba? That's one of the debates on the internet. Pero that's a really...
Yes. And nobody is even asking kung bakit dalawa yung nakikita natin.
Yeah. We just
like
argue
up to
about
now,
it.
Yes, sa atin ba? Sa atin dito ang apat. Meron na ba sa ating makakapag-explain why some people see blue and some people see gold?
I think
Wala
it's
po.
because of the, diba? Color grading. Hindi naman siyang grading of that photo. I don't know, I guess.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, can we say, or are
sure?
we just guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we know for sure? I mean, tayo to we're talking about social media literacy, and yet tayo mismo, yung very, very simple thing na yan, the blue dress and the white dress, we didn't dig deeper. Why in the first place did we see two different colors?
Yeah.
And it has been like what, a decade or a few years?
Yeah.
And nagsettle lang sa tayo na, hindi blue, hindi white.
Ang ganda palang analogy nun, no? Di natin na-realize
No.
na yun pala yung application nun in real life. Pero tama ka nga, parang that's one of the perils of the social media world. People don't really see that people can change. With the cancel culture, all that is a whole different discussion na, okay, you get canceled for a tweet you tweeted 10 years ago, but you're a different person na at this point, di ba? Tinanong si Carla, 2016 yun, that was 4 years ago. It's 2020. She has different opinions now. We have to respect that kind of situation na hindi ka lang tama all the time, di ba?
And it's also possible that Duterte himself changed for the worse.
Yeah.
Posible na yung Duterte na binoto ko ay iba na sa Duterte ngayong 2020.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the case for sure, but that's a possibility as well.
Parang we're not magicians or psychics to be able to know why these are. We follow our own beliefs based at that moment in time, and parang the internet just makes that times 1,000 and we believe further, diba? Pero parang yun na nga with this debate in mind, syempre now people are really asking for accountability for social media. Like Maria Ressa joined the group of 25 other people who are asking for this na they have to be held accountable, diba? It's not just as you were saying kanina, it's not just our responsibility, but it's theirs at the same time. Na, yun nga, how do we fight trolls and fake news? Diba? Remove the pages. Dapat, what are the security functions that social media should adapt to be able to, get back to the old, di naman old world, but a more balanced view of the world than the polarization of it. And that's something we cannot answer, obviously, because we are just users and we want to hold them accountable. That's why, of course, we respect also Maria Ressa for being there to fight those battles we cannot fight for. I mean, she's one of the people who have suffered a lot because of bashing on social media. But at the end of the day, she's fighting for the truth because she's a journalist, di ba? And
Yeah.
even Laila de Lima din, di ba? Mga ganung bagay na
Yeah.
they're victims of social media because lahat ng mga rumors, lahat ng ganyan. And yun. So parang, I guess hindi natin masasagot yun. May any insights ba kayo on that?
I think yung pagkaka-produce pa lang ng Social Dilemma, the documentary, is already a good sign that people are becoming aware, that we're waking up, ganyan. Pero it will still be a long battle. Parang climate change lang, na matagal naman na nating alam na sinisira natin ang mundo. Pero hanggang ngayon, ginagawa pa rin natin siya. So, matagal pa itong battle na ito. And kailangan hindi lang siya bottom up approach. Dapat yung mga nasa taas din. Kanina ko pa sasabi nga, we have to meet in the middle. Parang both ends have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And also, I think it doesn't make sense to look for one measure for a single answer. I think this is a very big issue. This is a battle. This is an attack on humanity itself. So I believe I believe
The question is,
that we should
candidate
attack-
number 15, Janina Sandoval.
Thank you for that water. I think we really should attack this huge problem from all fronts.
Mhm.
So as individuals, yes. Yung ginagawa ni na Tristan Harris na they're really making people aware of it. And of course, regulation,
Yeah.
government, state regulation. Kasi guys, what are governments for if it cannot create regulations that will benefit the constituents? Para saan pa? Diba? And just to, yes, I
Ma'am, para
We have
para
to be-
ma-hire nila yung Cambridge Analytica. Kasi pag nag-put sila ng ganong rules ng law, ng ganong laws, well, yun nga we need the right government for that. We need the right people.
in the first place, no?
Yeah.
But it's
oo.
so
Na
widespread.
interest
din
ng
eh,
tao
diba?
ang
It's so complex na Facebook
Yeah.
is being used in 180 plus countries. So there's no one there's no one ruling over it. Should we have like an internet law that prevents these companies from doing such things? Should the United Nations step in and do something about it? Because, diba, it's so complex and it has affected so many countries. Parang naisip ko, ano ba dapat ng authentication para makagawa ka ng account? Dapat may ID ka bang ipakita sa social media? Or is that another thing they can use against us? They have our ID. Diba? What's something na
totoo
will
yan.
confirm that you're one person who can only have one account and not make all these troll accounts? Sobrang hirap ng solution, di ba? Yes.
Well, for me, yes, we have to admit that we don't have a definitive answer as of now. We cannot answer it yet. But let's not say that we cannot answer it.
Yeah.
Of course, there is an answer out there. We're just trying to figure it
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
Tulad ng nung unang panahon, wala pang gamot sa ulcer.
Yeah.
Pero through experiments, through guinea pigs, through theories and stuff like that, through funding, through support, na figure out eventually kung ano yung kasagutan. So not because we don't have an answer right now, it already means na mapaparalyze na tayo at magigive in na tayo na, wala ganun talaga walang sagot Wala pa. Wala pa. And I assure you guys, we assure you, especially, panoorin niyo yung The Social Dilemma, people, lots of people, the brightest among the brightest of our species are thinking of ways to solve this problem. Siguro tayo, bilang hindi naman tayo kasama sa mga expert na yon, focus muna tayo dun sa individual, how we can hack ourselves and protect ourselves from it. Pero yes, sabi nga ni Tristan Harris, we have no choice but to figure out how to answer, how to solve this huge problem.
I think the very fact that we're talking about it right now is part of the solution. Na we wouldn't really have this conversation if they didn't make that movie then, di ba? Parang it's nice to have to start those conversations and put the word out there about what we feel and what we think should be done about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, this is an insight I got from, kanino ko ba ito nakuha? I forgot, sorry. I think this is from Yuval Noah Harari. Ano siya, sobrang rockstar na historian, anthropologist historian ng ating panahon. Anyway, ang ina-explain niya is, I hope I'm attributing it right. Ang ina-explain niya is, ang mga sistemang nananaig or naghahari are those systems that are being incentivized. As long as something is being incentivized, kahit anong pagalit mo dyan, it will go on. Kasi that's how we respond to things, punishment and reward. As long as greater ang reward, it will go on. So as long as the capitalist system keeps on rewarding the social media with money, with kung ano man pa pwedeng incentivize, it will go on. At as long as walang punishment, it will go on. We can't just tell people to stop this, do that. Kasi tayo rin as individuals, kaya tayo patuloy na gumagamit ng social media kasi nare-reward yung behavior na yon. Nagdo-dopamine spike tayo. Yung katawan natin, yung hormones natin, every time we see a notification alert, every time nagla-like yung crush natin, every time tinatag tayo sa photos, meron siyang reward. That's why kahit na alam natin na we should stop doing it, since nare-reward siya, we keep on doing it. Same then, that's micro sa individual. In systems, ganun din. As long as we keep on rewarding the coal industry, the social media industry, whatever harmful industry, the coke industry, the tobacco industry, as long as they are getting rewards and incentives, they're never gonna stop.
And I guess that also leads us to our last, pabaon na lang natin sa mga nakikinig at nanonood. What do we suggest or what do we propose to our listeners and viewers that we find parang best practices within ourselves that we found useful? Syempre, Carla also mentioned it earlier na what she's done. Ako, after watching this movie, I was really moved to turn off my notifications, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's taken less control over my life na hindi na ako parang controlled by, may nag-message, may nag-tweet, may nag-post. I just take it all at my own pace, and it's really helped the way I get into things na hindi na ako running about it, na hindi ko pa sasagutin yung boss ko agad, ganyan, di ba? Mga ganong bagay na hindi mo mapanghahawakan talaga. But for me, that's one good tip. If you can't delete it, because I couldn't find myself to delete the apps anymore, na I realized na wala ito talaga yung mundong ginagalawan natin, especially sa trabaho ko. I can't afford to not be on social media. So the least I could do was really turn my notifications off, and that's a huge help. It's still at your beck and call when you want to. Kahit ano na yan, restart for 15 minutes na yan. It actually lowered my screen time, and that's a good indication, I
Yeah.
think, and it's a good start for people to turn their notifications off, which is one of the suggestions also at the end of the film. Kayo.
Congrats.
Thank you, thank you.
Na-lower mo ang screen time mo. Ako, lately, I don't use my cell phone when I want to go to sleep at night na. Like, siguro nagawa ko na siya for almost 2 weeks na I don't scroll on Instagram when I want to sleep. Kasi, una, hindi ako makakatulog. Dahil una, the blue light is affecting my, yung katawan ko, ganon.
Melatonin eme.
Oo. So, yun yung isang, I think, yun yung pinaka na-commitan ko na hack is not taking my phone to bed. Pero the next one that I wanna do, na ginagawa na ni Carla, is not using it in the morning. Because it's the first thing I check in the morning. So, yun yung next
Totoo.
baby step.
Magandang hack din yan actually. Kung gusto mo magising sa alarm mo for real na hindi mo siya sinusnooze, mag-alarm ka, ilayo mo sa'yo para you're forced to stand up and wake up. So, wala ka na, hindi ka makabalik sa tulog mo.
Yeah.
Diba? Napanood ko lang siya sa YouTube.
Sige. I will try that.
And congrats to you also for that. Maganda nga yung hack din.
I sleep well now. Ikaw, Azel.
Okay. Ako? Ika ako talaga. Ready na ako eh. See, ready ako. Alam ko na-mention ko na to dun sa podcast namin. I'm not sure if I remember right na-mention ko na to. Around kailan ba yun? Siguro nung 2015? Meron akong friend na nag-share sa akin nitong Chrome extension which is Newsfeed Eradicator. So wala akong newsfeed sa Facebook up until now. Okay? So since 2015, 2016, ilang years na ba yun? 4 or 5 years? Na wala na yung need ko for Facebook. That's why I don't use Facebook anymore. And alam kong sa desktop yun. Pero nadala siya eh. Hanggang sa mobile. Wala akong ganong urge to open my Facebook. I mean, compared to before. To before nung nagkaroon ako ng Newsfeed Eradicator. So, it's really helpful. Next is, paano ba?
So, what do you see? Sorry, I'm just
Nothing. Ano lang, yung ano.
White screen lang pala?
No, I mean,
White and blue?
Wala akong newsfeed, ma'am. It's just what's on your mind, Azel Cedric. Yun, yung part na yun. And then yung parang dashboard, yung menu sa gilid. Like pages, groups, that's it. That's it. I don't see anything else. So, I can link it to you guys. Or, Cholo, you can share to your listeners yung link.
Yeah.
But it's really helpful. So, I also urge you guys to install that extension. Kasi ang hassle, i-uninstall mo pa siya eh. See, 4 or 5 years ko na siyang nandiyan and I haven't removed it even once. Tapos, there are other apps. Pero yun, marami extensions sa desktop, but mobile. Wait. Mobile. See, napaisip ako.
Apple yung phone.
Delete apps, really. Sorry, ang extreme nun. Pero, I really, siguro nga kasi wala na ako need for Facebook. And hindi na rin ako nasanay magtingin ng mga ng feed ko ng Instagram, Twitter siguro once or twice a week. Just look for things outside social media, outside the internet, and do fun things outside the internet. Alam kong mahirap siyang isipin, pero pag nasimulan mo na, and guys, there are many other websites na hindi designed to be addictive, okay? If we can, okay, baby steps muna. Wag muna, like, avoid internet, pero siguro avoid social media muna. So, yeah. Explore the internet. Sobrang laki niyang mundo. And, yeah, siguro yun lang yung masasabi ko kasi I think I've moved, parang tapos na ako dun sa part na sobrang na-addict kung may bagong challenge ngayon which is TikTok, no? It's
my
another
That's a bigger black
That's a-
hole. Grabe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yun. So far yun yung ano ko. That's the things I do to at least help myself or regulate myself in terms of parang social media usage. Yun.
To add to that lang, may app it's called self-control, and then you can
Oh.
control yung
Self mo.
number of hours na nasa website ka. Kunwari,
Oh,
from 9
okay.
a.m. to 6 p.m. Facebook is not allowed.
Oh.
You really can't go into
Mm.
Facebook kahit tanggalin mo yung app or something like that. Sa computer siya. I'm not sure kung may ano siya. Not sure kung may
Ibang
phone.
laban talaga pag mobile, no?
Diba si Apple may screen time na nga, pero
Yeah.
makokontrol mo pa rin siya na kanina pa natin nag-uusapan to yung
Oo.
extend for how many minutes? 1 more minute, 15 more minutes.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, ang nagsaset ng alarm, ng limitation, ay si 5% natin.
Yeah.
Tapos ang nagre-reset sa kanya is the 95% subconscious part of us. Richie. Nakakatawa, Isol, kasi sabi mo
Go.
extreme yung pag-delete ng apps. You think it's extreme? Alam mo kung ano ang trending na phones among the Silicon Valley CEOs?
Yung Palm? Yung ba yun?
It's a dumb phone. They don't use smartphones. Para hindi
as in
sila
yung text
ma-addict.
and call. Text and call
Maganda
lang.
Magandang
Yeah,
solution.
yeah, that's right.
Yes. And these are the most productive, most influential people of our generation, ha?
And they do.
So
They make what we consume.
yes.
Ironically.
Parang yung mga drug lord. May mga drug lord naman na hindi lulong sa droga eh. They
Yeah.
don't use the cocaine. They just
Yeah.
sell it.
Yes,
They just make it.
Yeah.
Yes. Drug lords don't use drugs. Because
Yeah.
they know that it's addictive.
Yeah.
Di ba? Ayan. So, a catch naman, best practices. Guys, again, pinapaalalahan ko lang, I don't want to make it sound as if we have nailed this. We're just in the process of adapting these things.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna share about my immediate hacks, my long-term hack, and a friendly reminder. So my immediate hacks are, first of all, siguro alam ni Nika to, naka-mute lahat ng notifications sa phone ko. So hindi tumutunog ang phone ko unless manood ako ng media content. It's always silent, hindi siya nagbabibrate. That's one. Lahat ng group chats ko naka-mute. Basta lumagpas na ng 2 tao, including me, naka-mute na niyan. No exception. Bago ako matulog, na pinapatay ko yung router.
Oh.
Para, dati kasi nag-airplane mode lang ako. Mom, nung nag-quarantine, ang daliri ko, binubuksan ulit ang airplane mode.
Matic.
Pero actually,
Oo.
maganda nga yung airplane mode kasi walang nanggugulo sa'yo paggising mo sa airplane.
Totoo.
Wala kang mababasa na notification. Yeah.
So, the airplane mode and the pagpatay ng router, kumbaga 1 notch higher lang yung pagpatay ng router. Pero same, double whammy yung niya, two-folds yung effect niya. Kasi una, yung feeling ko na naka-close lahat ng tabs sa utak ko, pati sa phone ko, kapag naka-airplane, kapag wala na akong connection sa internet, mas nakaka-relax ako. Mas, okay, tulog na tayo, Carla. I mean, wala nang hold ang mundo, ang outside world sa atin. We can rest now. Tulog na ng mahimbing. And also, syempre, pagising ko, since naka-airplane mode, hindi pa bombarded ng notifications, yung mga nakikita ko, I don't wake up reactive. Because kapag umpisa pa lang ng araw ko, pag dilat ko pa lang, I feel like reacting to the notifications kaagad. Buong araw ko ang reactive ko na. Aligaga na ako. That's why I try my best na nag-o-on lang ako ng internet after I do my morning rituals.
Yeah.
And yun nga, tulad ng nasabi kanina, naka-uninstall yung mga social media apps sa phone ko. Ini-install ko lang sila well, yung consistent ko na ginagawa, yung Instagram, nire-reinstall ko lang siya every weekend. Tapos kapag bedtime ko na ng Sunday, ina-uninstall ko na ulit siya. Yung Facebook, ideally, midweek tsaka weekend lang din ako nagfe-Facebook. Pero depende sa lagay ng panahon. Pero that's one thing I'm trying. Twitter, I totally abandoned Twitter na like years
gosh.
ago. I have. Yan. So yun yung mga immediate hacks ko. The long-term hacks, kasi these systems, kaya ko siya na-build is because nakita ko yung effect ng social media sa akin. At kaya ko lang nakita yung effect ng social media sa akin kasi na-cultivate ko na yung awareness sa sarili ko na, oh my God, pag nag-social media ako, nagpa-fluctuate yung emotions ko, na oh my God, nagiging impulse ko na every, na 5 seconds of silence, nag-o-open ako ng Facebook. So, aware na kasi ako. And I got this self-awareness from my long-term practice, which is meditation. So, that's my long-term hack, to start a meditation practice. Kasi, kaya lang ako nakapunta sa point na I was able to build systems, yung mga sinabi ko kaninang short-term hacks. It's because before that, like a year or two before that, nagme-meditate na ako. Kaya mas nagiging aware na ako, mas nakakapag-customize na ako, mas alam ko na yung weaknesses ko. And again, di ba, it's very important to know our karupukan, our points of karupukan, so that we can protect ourselves from them. So, yun yung hacks ko. And my friendly reminder is, guys, it's okay to start habits with the minimum effective dose. Agree ako sa sinabi ni Aisel na hindi natin kailangang atakihin to ng no social media kaagad or no internet kaagad. Dude, para tayong nagsabi na from being a very sedentary person, bigla nating naisip na gusto ko maging fit, therefore magmamarathon ako bukas. Parang ano ba, guys? Chill.
Iron Man.
So let's be patient. Diba? Iron Man agad. Let's be patient with ourselves. Like, grabe. I mean, let's be patient with ourselves. Let's start with a minimum effective dose. If you want to start meditation, 5 minutes 3 times a week is okay. If you want to quit social media, giving ourselves 1 day a week na walang social media is okay. Or turning off our internet 4 hours a day is okay. We don't have to go all out. Dun lang muna tayo sa kaya natin. Don't set ourselves up for failure.
Yeah.
Ngayon, when we have built our muscles, yung muscles na nasanay na tayo dun sa minimum effective dose natin, then let's go a notch higher hanggang sa ma-nail natin tong mga sistemang binibuild natin. It's a long-term process, guys. Walang finish line. So might as well do it the sustainable way.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And of course, bouncing off of that, we've been saying it again and again this whole episode. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of be aware of your limitations, what you're good at, your weaknesses, and this will really help you go along the way of whatever you want to do, not just in social media, but also in the general sense na, alam mo yun, just know yourself and try to be aware of everything around you, the people around you, and this will really help out in the long term na being self-aware is something that not everyone is aware of. Is that the right term? Or it's not everyone
That's
is
so meta.
the zone that they're into. And it takes practice din nga. And baby steps. Tama nga si Carla. And yun, maganda nga. I hope that all these practices and our discussions really help you guys. Actually, ako ang dami ko natutunan sa episode na to. And I'm really, really happy that we had this discussion. Thank you guys. Any last words before we head to our last segment?
Bale, Cholo, kung gusto mo pang matuto ng maraming hacks, pwede kang makinig sa It's an Adult Thing.
Yes.
Grabe, hard sell.
Nakinig na ako naman.
Kala ko pa naman subtle. Kala ko very, very subtle. Charot.
Bago yan. Let's head to our
Okay.
last segment, which is our pop stop or our closing segment where we recommend lang our top picks and recommendations for anything pop culture, except
okay.
for the social dilemma, which the whole episode is about. Syempre,
Yeah.
it's a really great documentary to watch, and the discourse we really had in this episode was just really really great and really
Mm.
meaningful. So I will start with my recommendation. It's an anime. I've really been getting into anime lately. It's called Your Lie in April. Super ganda niya. It's just one season, 12 episodes. It's about music and a story. Mga teenagers yung mga to eh. And it's a story of how music can really affect you and the people around you. And I really can't say what the story is all about because it's about a lie.
Spoiler.
So, panoorin nyo na lang yun. And coming off of that, one of my good friends and a really great musician, Fern, who was also on the show, go listen to that episode. He has a song inspired by the show. It's called Kaori, which
Wow.
is one of the main characters. Ang ganda ng parang ano niya, ang ganda ng takeaway after watching that show. Parang napakinggan ko yung song before watching and after watching, and it really hits even harder after you watch the show and listen to the song. Grabe yung effect, ang ganda ng, it's just beautiful how, art inspires other art and it also inspires you. And yeah, so those are my recommendations for this week. How about you guys?
Okay, I will go. I accept my fate. Oh my gosh, hindi ko alam kung pop culture to, Cholo. Kasi it's a podcast.
Yes, it is.
It's called Dying for
Is
Sex.
that a thing? Charot.
No. it's called It's called Dying for Sex by Wondery Media. So after yeah. So it's about this woman who has stage 4 cancer and her best friend, the host. And when she found out that she has cancer,
Wait, this is real life?
yes, it's real life. It's a narrative plus dramatization.
Yeah.
So parang medyo mixed na podcast siya. It's about, yes, and then when she learned that she has cancer, she became sexually emancipated.
Ganda.
So, meron siyang mga sexual adventures. But the podcast is way more than the sexual adventures. Sobrang ganda. I mean, after nitong show ni na Cholo, yun ay pakinggan nyo.
Podcast nyo.
tapos after yung sa amin. Yeah, so, Dying for Sex, as in, like, it's a roller coaster of emotions, and her sexcapades are like, oh my God, girl! While she has for cancer.
Okay yun, ma'am, kasi
ito
adult content. Adult content. Adult thing. Pasok.
Sabi ko, it's so that's so ito Mama Tambien.
Oh, I haven't seen.
I haven't watched that
Okay,
either.
it's a okay. Oh my God, it's Gael
Ay,
Garcia.
maganda yun.
Yes.
Noted.
Go, Azel.
And Diego Luna. Okay.
Carla, ikaw, or ako muna? Sige,
Go,
ako muna.
Dewey.
Ako daw? Ay, ako pala. That pala, nag-ready na ako. Ano lang, share ko na lang yung most recent film na pinanood ko. It's also from Netflix, Enola Holmes. So, actually, ang takeaway ko lang nun is, it's so cute. It's so cute. And it's, syempre nasanay tayo na si Sherlock is si Benedict Cumberbatch, right? And sobrang inown niya na yung character na yun. So, it's interesting to see another Sherlock na Borta.
So,
Henry Cavill ba to?
Yeah, sobrang siya.
Ang gwapo naman po ni Detective.
Ang sabi nga nila,
Parang,
Si Sherlock, si Superman.
oo.
Yes, oo.
Enola
Ano
daw
sabi?
isn't a movie, but it's a vlog set in the Victorian era, which is
True.
really
Oh my God.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, she kept on breaking the fourth wall. So,
Yeah.
so lagi siyang, as in para siyang House of Cards, diba? So, nakikipag-usap siya sa audience. So, yeah. Ang cute lang nung film. Parang, it's a film na like, I didn't want it to end. Parang, I want
a
more.
sequel. I think
Yeah.
the development
Film pala siya. Akala ko series.
No, it's a film. Yeah.
movie siya.
Mga panoorin mo, sobrang cute. It's not
Gay.
heavy. Ang light niya lang na
It's so
Yeah,
endearing
it's just
when
fun
they
to
Bobby
watch.
Brown in that character.
True, yeah. At hindi na siya si 11 doon. Though, na-feel ko yung pagka-11 niya nung umiyak siya. It's so 11. Nung kinlose niya yung eyes. Mom, as in yun. Parang nag-break out na siya sa character niya bilang 11. Pero nung umiyak siya, ma'am, naalala ko yung, siya talaga yun. It's not 11 anymore, but it's Millie Bobby Brown.
Na siya.
12. So, yun. Ikaw, Carla.
Ang reko ko, pwede bang hindi video? This, my first reko, kanina ko pa nababanggit, book or audiobook, it's Essentialism by Greg McEwan.
Yeah.
Like, super. Guys, seryoso, life-changing in a good way. Kung movie, this one, wala sa Netflix, so kanya-kanyang hanap na lang, guys. One of my favorite films of all time, Chicago.
Ooh.
It's a musical. But it's not like any other musical. Yung bigla na lang kakanta. Sobrang iba to. Sobrang creative ng pagka-musical nito. Ayun.
Panoorin nga.
And yes. And my most profound recommendation is ang pangarap kong Hold Up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Seryoso, guys.
I love it.
You have to watch it. You have to watch it.
Sobrang sabaw. Grabe yung movie.
Sobrang sabaw. Alam
Yes,
mo,
sa sobrang kasabawan niya, mukha na siyang art.
oo.
Parang, shit,
Na-cross niya na yung ano na yun. Yung thin line.
Yeah.
We haven't had a comedy na Pinoy na ganung atake to comedy in a while.
Oo.
Diba?
it's so good, guys. It's so good.
Yeah, parang yung the meat of it, nung bandang dulo na, medyo Quentin Tarantino levels na yung story, yung plot niya. So, you will not expect what will happen. So, watch it.
Watch it.
Ako, one last pala. Netflix din siya.
Sige.
It's a documentary rin. I just recently watched it. It's called Clive Davis, The Soundtrack of Our Lives. If you really want to learn about the music industry, well, it's very American and how things work. It's a really good watch. And I was super inspired because that's my line of work. And to see someone like Clive Davis do his thing, tawag nila sa kanya, he has the golden ears because he hears hit songs. And that's what he does. And he's brought to the world the hits of Whitney, the hits of Alicia Keys, Barry Manilow, pati all of the hit makers that you know from the past, even until recently, he has a hand in a lot of those, and to see that journey also, and to see behind the scenes, because a lot of people just take music as music without all that happening in the background, and maganda siyang introduction to music industry life. And I'm super inspired to be as good as that guy when I resume work. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Thanks
So,
for that.
Those are our recommendations for the week. Thank you so much for joining us in this episode. Thank you so much. It's an adult thing for joining this episode. It was such a blast. Nakipagkulitan, pero sobrang
Thank you, Cholo.
But before we end, of course, do plug your show and what it's all about and where people can find you on social media and podcast platforms.
Okay,
Ako
Nika.
na. Dahil ituturo na naman nila ako.
Go ahead.
So please listen to It's an Adult Thing. We talk about #adulting, self-development, well-being, because it's an adult thing. So we talk about everything, all the life skills that we wish we learned in school. That's what we talk about in our podcast. And we do it together. So wala tayong teacher because our teacher is ourselves and our experiences. Charot!
Yes. Tsaka marami kaming sinishare na crowdsourced. So galing din sa inyo, guys. So if you know something about adulting na feeling nyo hindi pa masyadong kalat, please share us with us. Paki-post sa social media accounts namin para maipakalat pa natin at mas maraming adults ang matututo because of that.
True.
And what are the social media accounts?
Follow us on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook at It's an Adult Thing.
After after telling people not to go to social media, let's go.
Oo nga!
Oo.
Just kami lang. Wow!
Parang
Wow!
intersection ng episode na to na we talk about that aspect of being an adult in this world in social media, and also it's sort of like a pop culture thing because it's a film and it's on Netflix. So it's been great having you guys on here. I'm sure makukulitan pa tayo after this recording. But for Popcorn, of course, all our episodes are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you consume your podcasts. Go follow us on at Popcorn with Cholo. That's at Popcorn W Cholo on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And of course, we're here on Radyo Katipunan every week. Thank you so much, the Radyo Katipunan fam. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. We hope you learned a lot from this episode and our kulitans. And we'll see you all next week. Bye!
Bye!
Bye. Thank you, Cholo.
This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.